When you begin sculpting, most of the things you make are going to be made from a slab, a coil, or pinching. When sculpting, you have to decide whether you're adding negative space or positive space. Negative space is carving into your tile. You can use your loop tools or your ribbon tools to carve out negative space in your tile. You can see here that I am carving down about halfway in my tile. We have a variety in the classroom of ribbon tools that you can use. This one is a circle ribbon tool, so it'll carve curved ribbons into your tile. Each one has a different type of mark that they make in your tile, so you just have to determine which one is best. This is a larger ribbon tool. It's best for working with large spaces. When you're done carving it out, you'll want to smooth all of the edges. You can use your finger or a paintbrush or another modeling tool. And then to carve out actual negative space that goes all the way through, you just need to draw it on there with your needle tool and then take a clay knife and start to carve all the way through. You want to have your knife straight up and down the whole time, and you want to carve nice clean lines. You can go a little bit at a time or do it all in one run. To get it out, you can stick your knife straight into the clay, wiggle it around a little bit to pull the clay out. After that, you're going to need to smooth out that area. I find that running my needle tool along that inside edge works better than my finger because it can get in small areas. After you smooth the inside, you will also want to smooth the outside of your tile. Tapered cones are especially useful as you are creating things like trees and mountains and spaceships and all different kinds of things. So first you need to roll out a coil. You'll want it to be a little bit thicker since you are going to be attaching it to your tile. Once you're done rolling your coil, you're going to cut it in half so you have a small piece, and then you're going to roll it a little bit more with all of the pressure on one side. So you want to use your 1 or 2 fingers to roll it so that all of the pressure is on one side. This flat part is the perfect part to slip and score to your tile. The tapered coil is commonly used when you're creating your trees on your tile. You can see here. First, you'll flatten your base by tapping it on the table. This gives you a nice big spot to slip and score. You'll need a spot at the top to slip and score, so you're going to cut so that there's a flat spot to score the top of your tree onto. Then you'll roll a ball of clay to create the top part of the tree. Next, you'll slip and score both pieces together to attach. After it's attached, you can use your fingers to pinch and shape the branches and leaves of the tree. To make a palm tree, you'll use the same base of the tree and you'll flatten a little piece of clay. Then you'll start shaping it into a slight bowl shape. After that, you're going to be cutting into your clay to create the individual large leaves. I'm doing it very simply, but you can do a lot more shaping and you can do more textures and drawing on it. I'm just showing you how to create the basic shape. Then you'll be slipping and scoring them together. In order to make anything with flat sides, you're going to start with some sort of coil or ball or shape, and then you're going to gently tap it on the table in an organized way to create those nice flat corners you can see here. In order to create hollow forms and attach them to your tile, you first need to form them with your fingers, so you can use the pinching method. You can make almost anything out of these formed pieces. Then you'll flatten the edges by tapping it on the table so that you can slip and score a nice flat edge to your tile. Then you're going to need to trace it and slip and score that area. You can carve out the middle so that you don't have to guess where it is at the end. And then you'll slip and score it to your tile and know that it is definitely thinner than your thumb. For blending the edges, you can use your finger or you can use these wooden modeling tools with the spoon end. So anything with that curved end. The small one works for small spaces. The big one works well for really large spaces and for that final smoothing. You can leave some areas unblended, but you'll want to clean them up with a paintbrush as you go. If you have anything that's somewhat flat, you need to sculpt using a slab. So let's say if I'm sculpting a butterfly wing, I'm cutting it out of a flat slab that's about medium thickness, and then I'm going to start tapering it and sculpting it with my fingers. Most of the things that you sculpt have movement, so you need to shape them and sculpt them so that they're not just flat against your tile or your slab, but that they have actual movement. Then you'll slip and score them to your tile. Make sure you have a good amount of places that you can score them, and then you'll probably need to prop them up, so you can use just a ball of clay and put it underneath to temporarily prop up your object.